the last time, since the last time I have backtracked to the town here, and it's time to put all the money I've earned to good use. Mostly on spells. You'll see basically that at this part of the game, there's going to be a whole lot of exploration going on, and this is why turning off encounters and me speeding up these videos is going to be very important. The original game was painful to do this part because basically I'm going to bounce from Elfheim to, I don't know, to Cornelia, back to Elfheim, somewhere north of the second town, Provoca, I don't know the name of that town, and all over the world that we've explored so far. It's going to be kind of crazy. Alright, so at this point, Poisona, I've watched some videos talking about how Poisona, whatever, and Vox cost a lot to cure one status effect for the spell, versus if you bought the items, you could get a ton of them for extremely cheap. So do with that information as you will. You know, it's handy if you have ethers and you have mages to just get them anyways. Yeah. Alright, it's time to begin the trek. Always save. Save often. You see how long that battle took with auto battle on and my fast forward as well? It's kind of crazy the amount of time it would take if I didn't have that going on. So yeah, if you came here before going to the Southern Marsh Swamp or whatever, this guy would have tricked you. I didn't bother showing that because it's basically not even really a story. So yeah, this is Astos. He can be pretty crazy. So it's good to come in here prepared. Essentially, if you have a black mage or a red mage, get temper and haste. It's very important. As you can see with my white mage, I'm going to put invis on my top character, whoever that is, because they're most likely to be attacked by physical attacks. Sleep is also bad. So yeah, 4 regular attacks with my thief only do 43 damage. Let's see if we can do something about that. Okay, so that was a crit at 74. So then Pace, he's going to do 8 attacks, unless of course he gets hit with slow first. Spoilers. Yep, there you go. So slow is going to probably most likely bring the number of attacks that you do down to 1 at this point. See, on him, it brought it to 4 because he had already been hasted, and slow essentially removed haste. They cancel each other out. So I can cast haste back on my thief at this point to get his attacks back up. There we go. I can't remember if you get to see the full power here. 8 hits, 70 damage. So that was a non-crit. You see that my monk did pretty well as well. Yeah, not too bad. So, haste, incredibly important. Again, red mage or black mage, get it. In this episode, you will get to see a little bit of how the black mage can be incredibly useful over the red Mage around this point of the game. Because around this point, the extra intelligence he has causes a big boost in the power of black magic spells. So, yeah. So you saw that I got a Crystal Eye here. Well, the Crystal Eye goes to Matoya. Matoya is way up here. Cancel and loan? I don't know. It's supposed to be cancel and you hold confirm and press cancel. I don't know. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit, what that does. This reminds me of the Witches of Fate and like Greek mythology or whatever. You're supposed to come across Matoya before you fight Astos. And anyways, we didn't. But so yeah, we give her the Crystal Eye, we get the Jolt Tonic, and then we gotta go back to Elfheim. Then once we go to Elfheim, we're gonna take a great reward that we get, and we're then gonna go to Cornelia, back to the Southern Swamp, back to Astos' castle, and also, I think that's it. I think I've covered it all. I think I'm just seeing how many bestiary entries that I'm missing. By the time I beat the game, I'm short somewhere in the neighborhood of like 15 or 20, and I don't feel like going out of my way to get them. So, yeah. So yeah, here's the prince that we didn't bother visiting before. He has fallen into some kind of a deep sleep because of Astos, the Dark Elf. Dark Elves is another reoccurring theme in these games, as you'll see. The one from Final Fantasy IV is amazing. So, yeah, we kill the prince here. He wakes up. He's happy. He knows that we are the nameless warriors of light because of reasons, and he gives us a Mystic Key. And the Mystic Key then enables us to run around and do stuff. Don't get me wrong, I like getting an item and then being able to backtrack all over the game and find cool stuff with said item. However, it's painfully slow in the original, and even in this one, if I had on encounters, it would be not fun at all. So you see how the game forced me to leave the castle right there? I know I'm supposed to go around the right side of this place. There we go. See, this time I didn't, so I don't understand. The Mithril Hammer there is good for a white mage, if you're ever going to attack with them. And stuff like steel gloves, if you see anything like that, just know that right off the bat it's only going to be useful for a warrior. Later on, you can use it for a ninja. Did you see my Black Mage's Fire spell right there? That is a little preview of how he's going to be handy. So, back in Cornelia, we can put the Mystic Key to use to get some really good stuff. So I'm going to find a couple of swords here. Oh, we got to go back to the Chaos Shrine as well. There's another 2 doors where you can open with the Mystic Key. So here, a saber's not very useful. Mithril knife, you could use that on your Black Mage. It's not going to do much. Yep, see, there you go. If I do attack with him, I'm going to do a tiny bit more damage. The nitro powder here is what you need to progress with the plot of the game. So, very handy. And then iron armor, which nobody on my party can equip, and I think I'm about to confirm that. Yep, nobody in my party can equip it. Also, I don't think red mages can equip that, but don't quote me on that. Some of the stuff, the shields and the swords and the armor, red mages can equip. Even more so, red wizards can equip. So, more back up to my love of the red mages and wizards. Alright, Yeah, so the 2 rooms on the right side are what you want in here. The Rune Blade is incredibly useful for a long time. Also, throughout this point of the game, you're going to get a Rune Blade, a Werebuster. Yep, there's the Werebuster. The Werebuster here cannot be used by the Thief, but it can be used by a Warrior or a Red Mage, so very handy. And pretty soon we're going to get a Crystal Sword as well. At this point of the game, those swords are extremely useful for like a long time, so good to have them. And as you can see, if you had a Thief, a Red Mage, and a Warrior, you could make even more use of all that. Or 2 Red Mages, which I'm pretty sure I've done before. So I'm backtracking to these rooms that were locked previously, that we can now get into, and just a warning, most of these chests are protected by monsters, and most of the monsters are the same High School Demons. Yeah, High School Demons. I guess that's how you say it. Lithids, Mind Flayers, whatever you want to call them. Squid people. They don't have a lot of HP, but they hit really hard. And you're about to see why I should have used Thundara on the first group of these guys that I fought. I'm not sure if they're weak to it, but you see that I was literally able to take 2 of them out with 1 cast from a Black Mage. Yeah, I don't think a Red Mage could do that around this time. If you had 2 Red Mages cast 2 Thundaras, maybe you could take out the whole squad. But yeah, this is where Black Mage peaks. After this point, he's still useful. Just having haste and temper is incredibly useful. But getting later, any of the attack spells, though they are stronger, they're only going to be useful for taking down huge mobs of enemies that you run into, because it takes forever to attack all of them. That's just my mindset. Having to sit through all the attack animations is painful, so it can be useful to use 1 spell like this, Thundara, all at once. So, yeah. And yeah, all that for an antidote is highly disappointing, but you know, that's just how it is in this game. You never know what you're gonna get. Also, check out how much HP my White Mage has. Just a handy thing to note. I think at this point I was trying to find my ethers, or I got distracted by something when I was playing. Yeah, this is why I have them. I'm running out of healing spells, but if I just drop a bunch on my White Mage, then I'm good to go. So yeah, you see that this hooded figure here is a forced encounter in the original game, and if you step on that tile, you gotta fight it, and it's invisible. On here, at least they show it to you. Yeah, I don't have to fight it. I'm just choosing to fight it because I know at this point I can just knock them all out with 1 spell. So, yeah. You see how they were only hitting my Thief 1 time, but my Monk like 5 times? Or I'm not sure if I was saying that correct, but the Thief was taking much less damage because he has higher evasion, and so their attack numbers are getting reduced when attacking him. So, you know, you take somebody with high evasion like that and you cast Invis on him, and yeah, it's really good. That's why he's in the top of my party, even though he has not very good HP. Yeah, these guys have incredibly low HP. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You see the 5 attacks that my Thief is now doing. High crit rate, high number of attacks, high evasion. Makes the Thief very good in this version of the game. And all that is based on agility. Silver Armlet here is very good. Check this out. I decide, oh, I want my Monk to have 19 defense. No, maybe I should put it on my White Mage because she's a healer. Well, let's go back and check this out. Watch this. taking the copper armlet off increases his defense to 11. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we want to take that off. What about if I take these off? No, that's not better. So, just something to check every time you go shopping. If you have a monk in your party. Coming up here very soon, I'm going to be removing the nunchucks and just going bare-fisted, and the damage output is going to get kind of ridiculous. The monk continues to scale upward for the rest of the game. It's different than a black mage. It's like a black mage peaks. A white mage is useful all the time, but a monk or a thief get better as time goes, and the same for a warrior. I think a monk is probably the best, like, long term. I think these wraiths are weak to fire and Diara spells, so that would be a useful thing to have here. You can see that Fyra does well over 150 to every single one of them, and I'll wipe them out. They dropped a Crusader staff, which is one of the ones that, yeah, it's like monk exclusive, but it's not good at all. So yeah, fun times. Crusader, I don't know what it is. Yeah, these guys are all undead, so probably the same thing. Use Fyra. And their physical attacks can put you to sleep, which is pretty interesting. Like, if I didn't have my black mage right here, that would have been a rough battle. Steel gloves, warrior item, and more mummies. So just auto battle, and just roll with it. Why did I attack everybody? I don't know, maybe I'm trying to conserve my spells. That black mage attack was pitiful. Easy to be playing a game like this and get distracted and just kind of leave stuff on auto battle, but yeah, sometimes it's not in your best interest. Try not to get bored. I grew up with these turn-based RPGs, but I still get bored with them. Oh yeah, you can see the power staff is kind of useless. I'm gonna throw it on my black mage just because. But yeah, my daughter is incredibly bored with turn-based games, so I'm kind of glad that they're moving toward action RPGs now. Square Enix, I mean. I'll join you next time to do more exploring. See you then.